What's going on, Sooner Nation? The January 27th Junior Day, it's a wrap. And if a lot of you guys are on Twitter, you might have been following on what a lot of people were predicting. You might have saw some predictions flow through, and you also might have seen Kevin Sperry's tweet that he famously tweets out every single time there's a commitment in the class of 2025. Yes, you got that right. It looks like Oklahoma landed a commit in a weekend where a lot of people didn't expect them to land one. And it's a position that probably is really narrow on scholarship players that will be taken in this class. And we got to talk about who that player is, why we think it's that player, why we think they're going to land at Oklahoma, and the future at that position. Because if this player ends up committing to Oklahoma, there's going to be an impact later down the road. Before we dive into it, guys, I need to hear from y'all. So make sure you're joining the discussion. Give me your guys' guesses on who you think is the silent commit for the University of Oklahoma out of Junior Day. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe button. Guys, I'm trying to bring you guys as much good content as possible, including on the recruiting trail. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I want you guys to be a part of it. We're also going to be doing a lot of other content with softball, baseball, and basketball. So make sure you guys are tuning in. Okay, so Oklahoma, they had a Junior Day, and by no shock, you guys saw several predictions come in last night for the running back, Tory Blaylock. Yes, and I even submitted my own prediction last night after talking to a couple sources, and really it just came down to it really sounded like Tory had a great visit. Demarco Murray has a good relationship there. And then additionally, I mean, in talking to a couple people, it sounds like Tory might want to have this decision wrapped up before the season starts. And when you look at the numbers of what's going to be available in that running back room, listen, if you're a running back and you're serious about wanting to play for Demarco Murray and playing for Oklahoma, you've got to get in now because you've got a Gavin Sawchuk, a Javante Barnes, a Caleb Hicks, Emeka Megwa. You've got a Taylor Tatum and Xavier Robinson, right? This running back room is loaded. Which, same thing we said last year. And when you get on campus, yeah, there might be an opportunity for you to start sliding into the rotation. Guys might be going to the NFL. You know, obviously you're going to have churn in the portal. That's just how that is, right? So, yeah, like there might be an opportunity, but it's only likely the staff takes one guy. And so if you're a guy like Tory Blaylock and you're sold, right, and you get there on Junior Day and you have conversations with Sperry and Venables and Demarco Murray and Seth Luttrell, and you really hit it off, and that's where you want to be, you probably just want to go ahead and lock it up because anybody could take that spot, hence why you saw Justin Hatton lock in his spot in the 2026 class, which it's still far away, and a lot of people are wondering, well, why? Because, again, that might be another class where you only take one, maybe two guys in that class, maybe two. So Tory Blaylock is a guy that, remember, we talked about him earlier in another video when we broke down his offer. And he's a guy that in 2023 produced at a pretty high level. 89 rushing attempts, 616 yards, 11 rushing touchdowns. He even caught the ball out of the backfield a little bit for 268 receiving yards, 19 receptions, and 3 touchdowns. This is a guy that Demarco Murray would definitely be able to utilize pretty heavily in this offense. And this is a guy that Demarco Murray can probably turn into a 3rd, 4th round pick. I mean, with the NFL now, it's kind of hard to say running backs can go in the 1st or 2nd round because you guys know how the NFL is now with running backs. But Demarco Murray's system, it's very favorable to college running backs because you're not going to be overly tasked. You're going to have saved miles when you go to the NFL. It's not going to be like some other teams where they run you into the ground. And so you look at this recruitment, and I believe On 3 had him predicted for A&M or Texas, Oklahoma in a 3% below Texas in 2nd place. He had been to A&M 5 times, Texas 4. He's been to Oklahoma now 5 times. He's been to Ohio State twice. And so you look at Tory's recruitment and what this could mean for Oklahoma coming up in this class and in future classes. Well, you look at some of the guys that they've offered here in 25. Riley Wormley out of South Lake Carroll in South Lake, Texas. I believe that one's probably going to go Oregon's way. He was out at Oregon this past week. Didn't seem like that one was trending that direction. Maybe things change. Maybe he gets on campus before Tory commits, but that's kind of where that one seems like it's riding now. You've heard a lot about DeAndre Ryden, Tiger Ryden out of DeSoto, Texas. Guys, it's DeSoto. Oklahoma hasn't won a whole lot out of that high school. You really weren't hedging your bets on that one anyways. You look at a guy like Michael Turner Jr. You guys know how high I am on him. He came to the BV camp. We got a chance to look at him. Really talented guy. I mean, unfortunately, if he just doesn't want to lock it up this early, he doesn't want to lock it up this early. And that's the unfortunate thing about Oklahoma and some of the spots that we might have, right? It's just not there. The ability to wait, like if there's just one spot, I mean, you're kind of seeing this with Emmett Jones in the wide receiver position. It's going to be like a fight to get that last position because everybody wants to play for Emmett Jones. He's only got so many scholarships for that spot. And that room's already loaded. And you don't want to get lost in the depth chart. So, in terms of 2025, if you land Tory Blaylock, I think you're done with scholarship running backs. That's not to say you don't land a Caden Knighton or Demarius Robinson. Out of those two, I think you land Robinson because I think Caden Knighton is going to get other scholarship offers from other elite programs across the country, and it's just going to be too enticing for him to pick the Sooners on a PWO. As Robinson, you can come pick up a PWO here. You're definitely going to get some playing time. Maybe you earn a scholarship down the road. In 2026, you already have Justin Hatton Jr., and you're potentially looking at Legend Bay, a couple other guys. They're continuing to throw out offers. So Oklahoma, they might have 2026 wrapped up before we even get to that cycle as well. So you look at what Oklahoma is doing, and although some Oklahoma fans might not like how slow recruiting is going to be while everybody else is gaining a lot of momentum, there's a good chance that you're going to lock up the majority of your class, the core of your class, and then you can get a head start above everybody else. This is what the Georgias and the Bamas, this is what they do. They recruit early, they get their class locked down, and they get a head start above everybody else. They start pinching on those 5 stars. And I think you're going to start to see Oklahoma be able to do a similar thing here. Demarco Murray, he's an elite recruiter. He's an elite developer. And I think you're seeing it on the recruiting trail with some of the guys that he got here in the 24 cycle, the 25 cycle, and what he'll be getting in the 26 cycle. I mean, you get a guy to commit almost 2 years early. I mean, that has to say something about you. We talked about Emmett Jones being that dude on the recruiting trail. DeMarco Murray's that guy too. So, guys, I want to hear from y'all, and I want to hear what y'all's thoughts are. Who do you guys think was the silent commit for Oklahoma? Tory Blaylock got all the predictions. But if you guys think it's someone else, I need to hear your thoughts. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you're joining the